Yun, nag-on na. Okay. Let me just start with our topic today, or for this week at least. Okay, storytelling or narrative. Um, in most books, it's called narrative, pero to differentiate narrative from narrative devices, we would rather call storytelling, or we would rather use the term storytelling as the element of film na narrative. Okay, so with storytelling, like with our friends, family members, barkadas, classmates, we often have, or we often encounter different styles, different ways of how they present their story. Iba-iba yung iba sa iba't ibang tao, ibang ibang klase ang pamamaraan nila ng pagkukuwento. We have friends that are like doing speeches, very organized, very structured, very linear yung kanyang kwento, speech tuloy. And there are others naman na alam mo yung parang kulang na lang, parang nakainom yung dating. How so? Yung that person keeps from jumping from one point to another and then to the next na hindi siya chronologically arranged. Di ba may kwento siya, "Ay, alam mo, let's take for example, kwento ni for those people who have seen Ant-Man ni Luis, 'di ba? Sobrang scattered brain siya pero ang ganda niya magkwento. So animated but still he beats around the bush, 'di ba? There are others naman na they don't really beat around the bush. Lahat ng sinasabi nila is still related to their story pero again kalat or sabog, 'di ba? This is no different from how filmmakers tell their story. Merong mga filmmakers like the one that I gave earlier, yung parang nag-speech, very linear ang kwento. Okay, so madaling sundan. If you skip the first part, then most likely you will still understand the rest of the story, diba? But there are others again, as mentioned earlier, na parang scattered ang ang idea, scattered yung story niya. Um, let's say for example, let's have race kay kwento ni Mr. Quadra, paano siya naging athlete. So, a good story or kahit hindi a good story, a decent story or a traditional story is kikwento niya from childhood to adulthood ni Mr. Quadra and then him becoming an athlete or becoming athletic. That's basically it, 'di ba? So from point A to point B, madali. Ang ibang kwento naman, same story pero the way they narrate, the way they present the details, the facts are kahit paano scattered or unorganized. Mag-start yung movie or yung story with Mr. Ray already becoming an athlete or atleta na siya. Tapos we'll go back in time sa isang point ng buhay niya na parang naglalaro lang siya sa kalsada tapos yung pala he found out that he has super strength. He has strength or he has extraordinary strength. Diba? Tapos babalik siya sa present, papakita niya kung paano um, yung mga workout montage niya, 'di ba? Now being an athlete, he's doing workouts, he's doing practices, ganun ganon. Tapos we'll go the next scene naman babalik naman tayo sa adolescent period niya na parang um nakipag-date siya, ganun ganon. Tapos he's telling his friends or his high school friends na parang I want to be an athlete in the future kasi I want to become a scholar and becoming a scholar, I'm helping my parents, ganun, 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 di ba? Tapos cut to present time again, he's competing na parang ganun. So, ganun siya, ganun, messy. Pero they are both telling the same story. So that's narrative. Again, there's no wrong way of telling a story. Like in making cuentos with your friends, walang guidelines. Basic guidelines, 'di ba, yung very formative, very journalistic approach, the 5 Ws and 1 H, 'di ba? You tell the 5 facts or the 5 Ws facts and then the how facts and then yun, basically ganun yung formal or ganun yung academic way of telling a story or reporting. Pero when you tell an actual story, life story, fiction, there's really no way, no correct way. There's no wrong way too. Diba? So that is basically what narrative's all about. Diba? It is how the storyteller, tayo as people, and it's also how filmmakers have this liberty to tell or to present their story uniquely. Okay, so that's storytelling, 'di ba? So paano kayo nagkukuwento, paano kayo nagkuwento ng filmmakers? Paano natin napapanood sa TV, 'di ba? There are movies like that na nag-skip back and forth using flashbacks, using foreshadowing, using red herring, and these are all called devices or storytelling devices, di ba? Pero hindi siya narrative device. We're only getting to the first part, which is perspective. Perspective and subplot ang narrative devices. So, if you have seen our topic thread, I have provided 9, pero it all boils down to just 2, the perspectives and subplots. Perspectives, ito yung pananaw ng storyteller. This or the story can be told in first-person perspective, like yung typical kwento. Ikaw yung nagkikwento sa nangyari sa buhay mo, di ba? And we have third-person perspective. Kinikwento mo yung buhay ng kakilala mo. Paano siya nanalo sa loto, paano siya nagka-COVID, um, paano nakipag-break yung jowa niya sa kanya. That's third person, di ba? And we have also second-person perspective. You are not the main part or you are not the main protagonist of the story, but you are still part of it. Kunyari, let's have si Miss Elaine, si Miss Wangko. We are friends. Tapos I am telling a story or basically telling her love story. Ba yung Miss Rian and her jowa. Pero because being a friend of Miss Rian, alam ko yung story niya, kaya ako nagkikwento nun. But at the same time, I'm still part of that story. So that is perspective, or that is second person perspective, which is far more rare as compared to first and third. If you will see our PowerPoint file, the file that I posted yesterday. Let's go to perspectives. Okay. So perspective. Sorry, I'm cutting it short na lang kasi you can download this and you can basically read everything naman when you download the PowerPoint. Okay. So second person, parte pa rin sila ng storya, pero narrator sila. That's second person. And syempre, third and multiple person perspective, ito naman yung marami. Again, let's go back to our main example, love story ni Rian. But it's not just Rian who's telling the story. Kasama ako being her friend, her own jowa, her mom or dad, I guess, and some of their classmates. Lahat kami nagbibigay ng part or ng kahit paano ng visions, ng views namin about their love life. That's multiple person perspective. We have movies like that. We have Vantage Point, which I highly suggest you watch. It's about this terrorist attack sa Mexico yata, or sa Italy, wherein parang guest speaker yung president ng Amerika, but then there's a bombing. Sobrang ganun lang kadali. Ganun lang yung first scene. And then the second scene naman, nagsisimula pa lang yung kwento. Pero from another perspective, it's from the perspective of the bodyguard. And then the third part naman or third chapter naman, the same scenario pero from the perspective of the local cop. And then sa last, perspective nung presidente ng Amerika. So hanggang sa na-unravel yung kabuuan ng storya. And that's multiple person perspective. For novels, you have Dracula, kay Bram Stoker. You cannot really give a mysterious vibe to Dracula if very played out ang story niya. So that's why Bram took this particular way or approach wherein the story or the novel is basically chronicling Dracula sightings from different people. Tapos nagkataon nakagawa siya ng kwento or nakagawa ng kwento out of the different kahit paano parang eyewitness tale nung bawat characters na yun. So that can be considered multiple person perspective. We have Hunger Games, we have Twilight. These are all first person perspective. I think um Twilight I'm sure because it's narrated by Bella, 'di ba? From Twilight to Breaking Dawn, si Bella Swan ang nagna-narrate. I think I kind of forget kung sa Hunger Games ba kung si Katniss Everdeen ang nagna-narrate. I medyo vague na sa akin. Even the movie is vague. Pero with Twilight, both film and novel, parehong si Bella ang nagna-narrate. So, medyo consistent siya. So, that's first person. Again, second person, si Rian ang main character. Ako, being her friend, ang narrator. Third person is any other movie that you can think of. Harry Potter, MCU movies. Any movies na may narrator, may character. Kung walang narrator, yung character, hindi siya nagna-narrate. So that is still third person. Okay? And lastly, again, multiple person perspective. Lahat or majority ng characters or ng main characters sa story, nagna-narrate, nagkikwento nung side nila lagi. Diba? This is good for mystery films. Vantage Point is a good mystery film kasi alam natin kung sino yung basically alam natin yung part na may bomber, may terrorist pero hindi natin alam kung sino yung killer, 'di ba? Parang it's a detective show, parang ganoon. You can have um Lie to Me, Sherlock, Elementary, any other detective TV shows that you can think of, laging may different perspective lagi. It's not always about the detective himself, but also yung perspectives ng mga ini-interrogate nilang characters or suspects or even eyewitnesses. Diba? So those are the different perspective. And perspective being our first element, or sorry, our first of the narrative devices. The second narrative device is what we call subplot. Subplot is basically the um, pieces of micro plots, maliliit na plot in the entire movie or the entire story that help build rapport, that help build emotional investment sa from the perspective of the audience. For example, let's go back to wag naman si Rian, baka ano, sinusumpahan na ako ni Rian. Let's have another name. Let's have si Aaron. Si Aaron naman, his story is to become a successful wag naman, traveler, diba? A very renowned traveler kasi tourism kaya. So I think traveler, not geotype, 'di ba? Yung mga ganon. Okay. So ganun yung parang pinaka-concept or pinaka-synopsis ng story niya. Ang subplot are scenes from that story or particular parts of that story na pwede niyong tanggalin and at the same and it will still hold solid. Buo pa rin yung kwento kahit magbawas kayo ng mga ilang scenes sa movie or sa story nyo. Those na tinanggal nyo can be considered subplot. A good example, a more simplified example is sino naglalaro ng video game dito? Yung hindi naman siya MMORPG. Does anyone play any games here? Yung mga old school retro games, Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog. Meron ba naglalaro dito nun? Si Aaron. Aaron, what game do you play? Or games?
Sir, sa DS, alam niyo po yun, sir.
Oh.
Naglalaro ako nun no, ng Bomberman, Mario Kart, Super Mario din. Yung mga ganun tipo po.
Yung Bomberman ba, ito pa rin yung naglalagay ng bomba tapos sumasabog yung walls?
Apo, sir.
Wow, buhay pa rin pala yun. Classics yun eh. At least syempre ngayon, 3D na I guess. I think 3D na siya. Sana
Yes,
3D
sir.
na. Oh, yun.
Bakit?
Wala. Kasi dati during the time, it's one-dimensional eh. Naka-top-down view tapos parang zigzag-zigzag lang yung dadaanan. Anyhow, so story ni Aaron. Si Aaron ay isang character sa video game natin. Just like Mario. So, ang mission ni Aaron is to save the princess, 'di ba? So that's the end goal, that's the end game. Ngayon, the different chapters, 'di ba, like Mario World or Super Mario, yung stages called worlds, 'di ba? So World 1, World 2, World 3, ganun ganon. Pag tinanggal yung ibang worlds, you will still end up saving the princess, 'di ba? So consider these worlds as subplots. Okay? So for example, ayan, at least hopefully clear na doon. If not pa rin, I'll give you a movie, Me Before You. How many have seen the movie Me Before You? It's I forgot sino yung author nun, John Green ba or not? Me Before You is, ayan, Karen, bottom line, anong story?
Ano po, namatay yung lalaki na mayaman.
Putang ina, pinatay ka agad?
Wala mo pinapoy.
Bilis mong patayin. Okay. So basically the beginning of the movie is that there's this vegetable guy. Vegetable siya kasi ulo na lang yung gumagal ang buhay sa kanya. Neck
Yes.
down, deads na siya, 'di ba? So and they hired him a nanny or caretaker or caregiver, 'di ba? Si Daenerys, I forgot her name. Emily Clark, 'yon. Tapos yun nga una snobbish si vegetable guy, mayabang tapos ini-snob siya or basta siya or walang modo, ika nga, 'di ba? Tapos hanggang sa nag-warm down siya kay Emilia Clarke and then nag-warm down din siya doon sa mga friends niya dati parang kinat-ties niya lahat eh. Ayaw na niya maging kaibigan yung mga ngayon, naging mabait siya ulit. Um, siya, his ano na, more appealing, more admirable na, di ba? Pero, ayun, hanggang sa nagkainlaban si Emilia Clarke and si Vegetable Guy. But at the end of the movie, the end of the story, the guy still wants to kill himself. Okay? So, from that particular stretch ng storya, you will realize that yung love story part nila is one big subplot lang. It's one big subplot para maging invested tayong mga audiences or for those who have read the book, para ma-invest yung emotions nila sa mga characters kay Emilia Clarke and kay Vegetable Guy. Para pagdating sa ending, they will feel bad, di ba? It's basically about euthanasia or mercy killing. 'Di ba? So, again, the love story, yung lambingan nila, nagkaka-developan sila, it's one big subplot lang. Okay? So, that's basically what subplot is all about. Tanggalin niyo yung part na yun sa story, buo pa rin ang story. Hindi ka nga lang, or hindi lang nga emotionally invested yung audience or yung readers kasi nabawasan ng part eh. Pero buo pa rin yung kwento. Okay? So, like me telling a story about my life, I will skip out details na hindi importante sa inyo. Kunyari, if you are to ask me kung how did I get to becoming a professor, so syempre I will be telling a story about yung kung ano yung sa tingin kong importante sa storya ko. Pero I will be leaving out details na irrelevant para sa akin. Ngayon, if I am to sum up my life as one big movie, yung mga tinanggal ko sa pagkwento ko sa inyo, that can be considered subplot. Okay? So, these are the two narrative devices that we have. And, syempre, the narrative device or narrative devices is one of the two devices under storytelling or visual narrative as an element of film. Okay? So, yun lang. Just recall how people tell stories sa inyo, how people make chismes sa inyo. That's basically narration. That's basically storytelling na eh. Di ba? Sometimes, kwentos or chismes are more interesting than the other. It's not because sobrang interesting yung story talaga, but because the narrators, yung nagkikwento, yung chismoso, siya mismo maganda siyang mag-deliver ng kwento. Diba? So, this is why, wait lang, this is why storytelling is the lifeblood of any movies, even TV shows, novels even. That's why it's also called narrative devices kasi hindi lang siya present sa pelikula, sa TV shows. It's also present with literature, comic books, novels, even short stories, included ang narrative devices. Okay? So that is our topic for this part of the week. On Thursday, I will be discussing the second device naman under storytelling, which is cinematic devices. These cinematic devices are still part of the narrative way, the uh, the the skills or the features of telling a good story. But this time, this is more or they are more exclusive to movies. Actually, present din naman siya sa novels pero it's not as significant, it's not as impactful as a visual media. 'Di ba? Minsan kahit magkwento ka palipat-lipat, bad trip ka lang eh. 'Di ba? Sabi pa ulit ayusin mo nga yung kwento mo, pabalik-balik ka eh. You're jumping from one point to another. Pero when you watch it, you would appreciate na back and forth yung kwento kasi you get to be more immersed sa world. You get to be more ito paano relatable ang characters nyo. Diba? So, yeah. Okay. So that is cinematic devices for Thursday. Okay, so again, hopefully you've seen our topic thread yesterday. Again, yesterday was an asynchronous remedial class day, Sunday. So again, I did not require anyone to really invest time kasi nga it's still a Sunday. Pero I syempre as part of my duty, I have to syempre do makeup class, di ba? Or create a makeup class. Syempre, it's your option naman to attend or not, which syempre, it's ideal na hindi kayo a-attend. Una, asynchronous eh. Pero, I made use of that opportunity to kickstart narrative or kickstart visual narrative topic para masagad natin yung meeting natin and at the same time, may introduce ko na kagad yung performance task today. Instead of presenting it on Thursday, which is the second day of or the second meeting of the week, tapos weekend kagad yung deadline, di ba? So that is, although may sneak preview tayo, pero kahit paano, I would want to make things clear for everyone who would be interested or kahit paano eager to get a good grade for performance task 1 or with and without dialogue. Okay, so again, although this is asynchronous, I would want to hear from you guys kung meron kayong mga tanong or if you need clarification regarding our performance task 1. Again, I'll stop this PowerPoint file or PowerPoint presentation and I'll go to our anong tawag dito? MS Teams. Where is it? MS Teams. Okay. So, MS Teams, hopefully ako na-click ko. Okay, so tourism, okay. So, let's go back to our week 8.1, which was yesterday. And our PT1 thread. I'll be reading it first. Again, performance task 1 is about with and without dialogue. So, this is partly in relation to our narrative or storytelling as element of film. Diba? You are to shoot two 30-second videos, magkahiwalay na file, Parehong 30 seconds. Clear? One story. First video should have a dialogue, and the other will make use of body languages, facial expressions in lieu of those dialogues. Okay? So, again, simpleng kwento lang, simpleng storya, good for 30 seconds. Ang unang version nyo, dapat may dialogue. When I say dialogue, dapat may nag-uusap. Hindi pwedeng may nagsasalita lang. That's called monologue. If I will see a video of, for example, let's have our Beadle, if Patricia will be on the video talking to herself, talking on the phone, pero we don't see anyone on the other end of the line, that's still monologue. So I would want to see another person talking. Ba? Dalawa or more than two even, pwede, ang dapat nag-uusap. Hindi pwedeng isang tao lang. That's why it's called dialogue, not monologue. Okay? So, clarification yun. Dapat dalawang tao. And dapat may dialogue. Hindi pwedeng, good morning, Patricia. Good morning, sir. Tapos na yung kwento. Diba? So, make it more paano, meaningful. Hindi naman sobrang life-threatening, life-changing discussion. It can be about anong ulam. Kamusta ang pakiramdam? May mangungutang ba si Jasmine kay Karen? Liligawan ba ni Ray si Colleen? So again, these simple stories, enough na yon to come up with a good dialogue. Usap lang. Sasabihin ni Ray kay Colleen, may pag-asa pa ba ako? Tapos sasabihin ni Colleen, hindi, study first ako, sorry. Tapos biglang si Ray devastated, di ba? So, ganung dialogue would be okay. Tapos, on your second video, the without dialogue, it should be about the same thing. It should be about Ray courting Colleen, tas Colleen turning down Ray. Pero instead of words, you'll make use of actions. You'll make use of body languages, facial expressions. So, I don't have my camera right now, but if I will have it, so let's turn on my webcam dahil gusto kong magmukhang tanga in front of everyone. Let's see. Let me just turn on my phone webcam. Yan, pag old na yung old na yung laptop, pangit yung camera eh. So, I'm using my phone. Anyways, I'm just buying time kasi ang bagal mag-run nung app ko. Man, I seriously have to update my laptop na. It's an old i7. It's an old i7, di ba? i7 siya, pero sobrang luma na. So, let me just... Again, pardon my face. Again, I'm not really prepared to be doing this activity or this video. Okay, so where's my camera? Ayun. Teka lang. Mukha akong gusgusin. I'm sorry, guys. So, hi. Okay, so kunyari, 'di ba? I'm Ray, 'di ba? I'm talking to Miss Fontanilla. Moira, may pag-asa pa ba ako? Matagal na kitang nililigawan, mga 10 years na. Kailan mo ba ako sasagutin? Mga ganun. Basic, kahit walang body language, basta may dialogue, that would be okay. Tapos si Moira naman, kasi, ayoko pang magka-boyfriend talaga. Study first ako, so I would have to say no. I'm sorry, pero marami pa naman ibang babae dyan na mas karapat dapat. Yes, mga ganung bullshit, di ba? Mas maraming karapat dapat pa dyan na mamahalin ka. Di ba? Mga ganung cheesy lines on TV or film. Tapos si Ray naman, pero ikaw lang ang gusto ko, pero rerespetuhin ko naman yung decision mo. Ganun, that's simple. 30 seconds, okay? Now, for the second part, which is the without dialogue, Miss Moira, hello. Colleen. Mukhang away from keyboard si Miss Fontanilla. Who would like to be Miss Fontanilla for this little skit? Pwede ba si Karen? Karen, can you turn on your cam and help me? Dead ma ako ni Karen, bad trip. Bad trip. Wala nagkasalita. Walang gusto mong
Sir,
ano.
ano?
Yan. Karen, pwede ba ikaw mag-turn on ng cam? Let's do
Sige,
that
sir.
skit. Kunyari, ikaw si Colleen.
Tapos, sir.
Tapos yun nga, babasta din mo ko. Okay?
Ano sasabihin ko, sir?
Hindi, lang, adlib lang tayo. Basta babasta din mo ko. That's the first segment. Yung second part natin, without dialogue tayo, pero babasta din mo pa rin ako. Okay?
Okay.
Turn on your cam for everyone to see. Hi Miss Hi Moira, kailan mo ba ako sasagutin? 10 taon na ako naliligaw sa'yo.
Study first pa kasi ako eh.
Ganon? Hindi ba pwedeng bigyan ng chance?
Siguro maghintay ka muna. Kasi ang dami ko talagang iniisip ngayon.
Okay, good. So ganun kasimpleng dialogue lang ang with dialogue. So now, Karen and I will be redoing the same skit, pero without dialogue. Paano namin ni Karen gagawin yung same story, pero walang words? Hindi pwede mag-sign language, guys. Baka mamaya kung ano-anong fraternity yung mga gagawin nyo para kayong si Naruto sa video. No, you won't be doing that. Pero it should be apparent from the facial expression, body language. Okay? So, ano kaya natin gagawin yan? Ba't kaya basta din yung kwentong pinili ko? O sige, let's try that. Okay. Siyempre, kunyari video call kami or face-to-face kami ni Karen. Paano ba ako magmamukha? Mukha akong aso pag ganun. Wait lang. Ganun lang kasimple, di ba? If you are to actually do it, mukha kayong tanga. Pero again, the main goal here is to make everyone know. Thank you, Karen, by the way. Thank you for being a good sport. Yun. Paano natin mapapaalam yung na same story sila? Kasi again, we will see both versions, the one with words and the one with action. So paano natin mapapakita yung same story pero with different meaning or different means, 'di ba? Okay, let me just turn off my cam. Tapos na ang ating um, role playing. So ganun nga, going back to our file or our screen sa requirements thread, yon. At least alam niyo na yung idea, di ba? 30 seconds lang, guys. I made it 30 seconds para makompress nyo. You won't overthink your activity. Sobrang simple lang. Ganun. Break up, ligawan, saan maghahanap ng saan magla-lunch, saan magde-dinner, di ba? Ganun kasimple. You can make it interesting. No. Basta wag lang magmumura, guys. Walang murahan. Okay? Ngayon, I provided some details or at least guidelines. These are each with runtime of 30 seconds. So, dalawang 30 seconds video lang ang gagawin nyo. Not 1 minute, not 30 seconds the same. Ginawa nyo 15 seconds, 15 seconds. It should be 30-second one video, another 30-second another video. Okay, so para clear tayo doon. Next, same scene po tayo. This is not a prequel or a sequel. Hindi pwedeng kunyari, let's go back to Karen and my example, yung ligawan bastadan. Doon sa with dialogue, binasted ako ni Karen, or yung character ko, binasted ni Karen. Dun sa without dialogue, ibang kwento. Sinagot naman ako ni Karen. So again, walang ganon. Hindi pwedeng ganon, guys. Again, you have to have the same plot. You have to have the same story. Okay? So, sana clear tayo doon. So again, may makita akong nag-differ, nag-deviate sa original story sa with dialogue. Mali na kagad 'yon. Okay? So, you have to be careful. Next, maximum of 720p resolution lang. preferably lower. So with your phone, with your webcam, you can lower your resolution. Webcam videos, pag nag-record kayo using your webcam, maliit na resolution na lang siya kasi maximum of a webcam, lalo na syempre yung mga traditional webcams lang, 720p. 720p, 2 megapixel, parang ganun lang yun, di ba? If for those people who would be using an actual phone camera or an actual SLR, babaan nyo yung resolution. Kasi it's always, by default, mataas ang resolution ko again. And even if it's a 30-second video, it will be hundreds of MB kagad pag sobrang high quality ng video nyo. So, wag kayong mag-4K utang na loob. Wag kayong magta-1080p, 720p, or lower lang tayo, mga mamshi. Okay? So again, this is to your benefit. Kasi I don't want, ang ganda na ng ginawa ko ni Ray. Pulido, ganda, pinaghirapan ni Ray. Tapos hindi naman niya mapasa kasi sa sobrang laki ng file. Okay, so I don't want that to happen to anyone. Kaya hindi importante sa akin kung gaano ka clear, gaano ka high quality yung video. It's all about the content lang lagi. So, if possible, lower the resolution lang. Or use a very standard camera lang or phone camera. Vivo's, actually Vivo, wag pala Vivo kasi matataas ang quality ng Vivo. Pwede nyo babaan yung settings. I think there's a settings sa, even on iPhone ata, meron. Let me just double check. If you're on iPhone, let's see if you're screwed or not. Settings, camera. Yan, let me just turn on my camera, my webcam again. So, yeah, parang vlogger, diba? Sa camera setting, you can choose the FPS and the resolution. So, that's basically it. With Android, syempre mas comprehensive ang Android. So, if iOS has it, mas malamang meron sa Android yan. Okay, so, yeah, ganun lang. Babaan nyo lang yung record video from higher to, syempre, 720p lang. So that it would have less pixel density. And less pixel density, lower file size. Okay? So again guys, babaan po natin. Lalo na syempre, dun sa mga taong mahina ang internet connection. If you guys have fiber at home, yeah, okay lang. I can handle high MB file size naman. Pero again, hindi importante ang quality talaga. So if you can do it, then okay. If not, then I would suggest you lower your resolution para masend nyo yung files nyo. Okay? Next, should be shot separately. Okay? Or separate files siya. Next, video on mute not allowed. So again, doon sa ginawa namin ni Karen, dalawang take siya, di ba? The first take is nag-uusap kami, binastad niya ako. And the second take, hindi kami nag-uusap, pero binastad pa rin ako by action, di ba? So again, when you mute your video, kunyari, yung with dialogue video nyo, minute nyo lang, tapos ginawa nyong without dialogue, bagsak pa rin kayo kagad, or you'll get the lowest grade possible. So again, you have to reshoot or redo twice talaga. Okay? One, with words talaga, nag-uusap, nagsasalita, bubuka bibig. And the second one, actions lang. Para kayo, hindi naman kayo nagsa-sign language, pero again, you should exude the same story even without words. Okay? Last, for the guidelines, one dialogue, one without dialogue, labeled as such. So again, the label, the format is written on our submission choices. Number 1, last name, comma, first name, space, hyphen, space, with dialogue, space, pt1.mp4 or whatever format you have. AVI, pwede rin. Okay. And syempre, for without dialogue, dun lang magbabago yun. Without dialogue, sa suffix niya. Okay? And it's still pt1. So, this is important. Huwag kayong magpapasa ng maling file name kasi if you are to submit it on OneDrive, yung file, yung location na pinost ko, yung link na to, at pag mali yun, even if it's really great, kunyari si Patricia, ang ganda ng gawa ni Patricia, pero yung file name niya, 501 752021.mp4, ganun. Tapos, yung second video niya, ganun pa rin yung number. Tapos may open and close parenthesis 1. Diba? So, usually ganun pag hindi nyo inaayos yung file name. So, even if I see Miss Patricia there, but because part nga ng guideline to, she will have, yun, she will get a 0. Okay? So, as you will see from below, wait lang. I was not able to post it on the week 8.1 storytelling PT1 thread, but I was able to post this sa requirements thread natin. This is basically how you will be graded. For with dialogue, it's 10 points ang dialogue, yung words, 10 points ang execution. Basically, pag nagawa niyo yung lines, automatic 10 points na kagad kayo doon. Ang problema lang nga, so with that dialogue, kailangan makita namin yon, both facial expression and body language or gesture. Kasi wala nang words eh. Okay? So, yun. Importante sa without dialogue talaga mag-grasp nyo. Okay? And then, for the last part of the grading, which is, again, 50 points lagi, same story dapat. So, pag hindi same story yung video nyo, sablay na kayo dito sa same story, sablay pa kayo sa different scene. So, double dead kayo. 25 plus 10, 35 out of, yan, syempre, out of 50. So, 35 minus 50, so yun na lang yung grade mo, that's around what, 15? Nagpasa pa kayo, diba? So, again, sayang lang din yung effort. So, please be careful in following instructions. Again, we are very, hindi naman very lenient, but we are very considerate. Hindi magandang camera, it's okay. Hindi magaling umarte, it's okay pa rin. Pero make sure you abide by this. Ito yung pinaka-gist natin eh. Basically, learning or online learning is basically not just about the topics per se, but syempre, following rules or following instructions, diba? So, kindly follow the instructions. And, yeah, syempre, because it's for your own good naman. Okay, so again, you have choices where to submit. Again, you can submit it here sa link na pinost ko, which is a a OneDrive folder. Click it and then choose your section, which is, you know what your section is, diba? Click nyo, tapos i-upload nyo lang dun yung dalawang files. Similarly, you can post it on YouTube pa rin with the tags, your section, PT1, narrative, and yung art app. And yung title ng video nyo, kunyari, yung skit namin ni Karen, it's about Busted. Ganun lang yung title, di ba? Ganun kasimple. And then, label your video or tag your video as with dialogue or without dialogue. Pag sa YouTube nyo in-upload yun. Wag Facebook, okay? YouTube. Respectively on the description, okay? Again, sa YouTube naman, may tags. Okay. And lastly, and I don't think this will still happen, assignment thread. It's difficult to do assignment threads. Lalo na I would want to limit the submission location. Mahirap mag-check ng iba-ibang lugar ang checkan ko. May nasa YouTube, may nasa thread. So again, although this might seem ideal on the assignment thread, kaya lang when submitting files, minsan students find it hard to actually upload files there as compared to uploading it on threads minsan. Diba? So either way, I will be making this an option. I will still put up an assignment thread. Pwede nyo i-upload doon to be found here sa requirements page pa rin or channel. Okay? Just so yung mga iba na kaya, they can post it there. At least, alam ko kung saan hanapin. Okay? So again, you have 3 choices or 3 chances of submitting your work. Again, in the OneDrive cloud storage. Second, directly sa natin. Sorry, mali. Doon sa number 1, dalawang ways pala yon. One is to upload it on OneDrive and then link, just say salamat shop sa PT1 thread natin, or you can directly post it sa comments thread sa PT1 thread. Okay? The next is sa YouTube, or the third na talaga sa YouTube. Okay? And then just copy the link and post it sa sa comment thread natin. Okay, so that I would know. Kasi if ever you upload on YouTube, hindi naman ako notify. Okay, so you have to still copy and paste the link to our designated thread. Okay? Or even sa assignment thread, whichever you prefer. Okay? Or yung kaya. Okay, so I've included some sample set. One is a downloadable file, and the second one is a YouTube video, which let's try to watch all together. Hopefully, sorry, it's not showing up with okay, sorry. So let me just open screen share and screen share my browser. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me, or sige, I'll turn off my audio or my headphone, and I'll try to point the mic to the YouTube or to the speaker. Okay, so hopefully you'll see this as a whole. This is syempre without or with dialogue. So as you can see, ganun kasimple dialogue lang. Again, may exchange dapat. Meaningful yung exchange. Okay? Let's go to the second clip. How do I go back? Sorry, let me just go back to the second. Okay. Hopefully you're still seeing this, the second tab. Okay guys, how many heard the sampal? So without that. Yung nakarinig ba ng sampal?
Yung sa unang video, sir.
Sa pangalawa, hindi mo narinig?
Sir, sa akin walang sound.
Sir, walang sound.
Hindi pa ata kasi naka-open audio.
Ay, ganun ba yun? Pero yeah, again, if you will click the actual YouTube link, you can see it for yourself and hear it for yourself. Merong audio pa rin yung without dialogue nila. Wala lang silang dialogue. Okay, so narinig yung sampal, narinig pa rin yung mga traffic sa labas ng sasakyan. So, it's obvious na hindi siya minute lang. And you can see naman their mouth, their lips, they're not moving except do sa mga parang galit na facial expression. Pero yun. So, ganun lang. I don't want to see anyone muting their video para lang masabi na without dialogue yun. Kasi if you just muted it, walang facial expression, walang body language, diba? So, yun. Okay? So, let me just go back to our thread. Hirap navigate palipat-lipat. Sorry. Okay. Going back. Okay. So, the grading system is syempre 50 points, perfect score with only one consultation. You can actually consult me, guys. I will not tell you if it's correct, pero I will tell you if it's wrong. Okay? You can ask me privately. If you want to send your videos, pwede rin naman if you have the data or if you have the Wi-Fi to do so, pwede naman. If not, you can describe it to me. Kunyari, let's have someone. let's say for example, Jasmine. Si Jasmine, interested siya malaman kung tama ginawa niya o hindi. Pero mahina internet niya. She can just describe it to me vividly. Mavi-visualize ko naman yun eh. Basta syempre, wag niyo sasabihin na wag niyo sasabihin yung one thing, pero ibang thing naman yung ginawa niya. Kasi when I see the video, tas mali pa rin, kahit na nag-consult ka, it would be wrong pa rin. So, kahit paano, be loyal or kahit paano, be honest with how you will describe your video if you cannot send your video yet. Okay? Just for the consultation. Okay? So, ang consultation, pwede magtanong, maka-perfect score pa rin. Okay? So, let's go back to our... Yan, okay. So, that's perfect score pa rin pag may isang or walang consultation. Kunyari, nagtanong who was that again? Sorry. Si Jasmine, nagtanong once. Okay. Tapos si Patricia, hindi nagtanong. Tapos perfect. Perfect pa rin, syempre. Okay? It's not necessarily hindi kayo nagtanong perfect score kayo it's not that way. Pero again, kung perfect score kayo, that's great. Kung tama ginawa nyo. 45 points naman if perfect score dapat kayo pero ilang beses kayong nagtanong sa akin. Siyempre, it's unfair for those people na hindi nagtanong pero naka-perfect score, di ba? So, again, to limit the questions or the consultations, yun, ganun. Pero syempre, I would be willing naman to assist you just so magka-grade kayo. That's why we have 45 pa rin. Okay? So this is for the highest grade na sobrang nagtanong. Kunyari, desperate lang. Kunyari si Aaron. Basta makuha lang niya ng tama, pero hindi siya perfect score, tanong kasi siya ng tanong. Okay? Pero if they will limit it to one question lang, tapos they'll try to be more inquisitive, makaka 50 kayo kung hindi kayo magtatanong or isang best lang kayo nagtanong for the activity. Again, ang tanong, it doesn't necessarily mean nagtanong kayo, pero kahit paano pinakita nyo or dinescribe nyo sa akin, just so I can have a reaction. If I had a good reaction, then goods na yun. 50 yun. Diba? Pero pag sobrang dami, baka 45 na yun. Okay? So, after 45, syempre we have 25. Isang mistake lang. Kasi if you will see our deductions, di ba? Nakikita nyo dito ang deduction natin. 25 points kagad ang bawas pag less than 30 seconds kayo. Okay? I will see naman, kunyari naggawa kayo, like the video from Aldrich, yung video na pinanood natin sa YouTube. Naging 38 siya and naging 34 siya kasi meron siyang intro. And that's okay. I won't count that intro sa runtime nyo. Basta as long as the video or the scene will start from 0 and will end at 30, okay lang. Kahit magkaroon kayo ng outro dyan or intro, basta kung kailan, bibilahin ko lang kung kailan kayo nagsimulang nasa video hanggang sa pagtapos ng video lang. That's it. Okay, so, yun, you can include a very long introduction, okay lang din yun, walang problema. Pero syempre, data nyo ang magsasuffer, di ba? Pero yun. Pero pag mali, kunyari, sobrang kapos, 10 seconds lang yung video, kunyari, yung video, kunyari, ni Joey. 10 seconds lang. And then, syempre, that's automatic minus 25 na kagad. Okay, so, 25 points na lang kayo. Supposedly, kung perfect kayo dito, minus 25, that's 25. Okay? Pero kung may bawas pa kayo dito sa first part, tapos mababawasan pa kayo dahil sa runtime, kawawa naman yung grade nyo. So, you have to be careful. Okay? So, same goes. Perfect nga yung runtime nyo, saktong 30 seconds, mali naman yung file name as mentioned earlier. Number lang, o kaya generic na file name lang, that's still minus 25. Lastly, pag magkaiba, may minus 10 na kayo sa same story kasi hindi nga same story eh. May minus pa kayo sa different scenes. Different scenes. Different po siya. Different scenes. Magkaiba. Again, ito yung ginawa nyong prequel or sequel yung videos nyo. Okay? So, that's it. 10 points pag pareho mali video nyo. So, syempre, katulad sa nakita nyo kayo na, pag sobrang dami deduction, may points pa rin kayo. The least you'll get is 10 points. Instead of 0. Pero again, sayang naman din, di ba? Lastly, pag hindi nag-submit, 0. Okay? So, if lumagpas sa deadline, 0 pa rin siya kasi may deadline tayong 3 p.m. of a Sunday. Again, this looks very soon, very tight. It's not. Kasi sobrang ikli lang ng performance task nyo eh. Magagawa nyo siya in less than a minute. Diba? 2 minutes. Pag dalawang video yung gagawin nyo. Siyempre may preparation kayo. Pero other than that, it won't eat the entire day eh. So, again, there's no reason for you not to submit anything. Kaya wala tayong late submissions. Okay? So, yeah. 3 p.m. on a Sunday. Siguro mahirapan lang kayo sa pag-edit, upload. That's why I encourage you to do lower resolutions para hindi kayo mahirapan mag-upload ng video nyo o magpasa ng videos nyo. Okay? So, yun. Now, guys, do you have any questions? I guess Karen, hindi ko natatanungin kasi kami na ni Karen yung naggawa ng skit. Aaron, si Aaron very inquisitive din to. So, I would want to ask kung, let's have Joey muna. Sorry. Joey, yes.
Sir, hindi ko po alam kung natanong na po. What if po kung mag-isa lang po?
Wait lang, lalakasan ko lang yung audio nung ano. Okay, pag mag-isa ka and you have no other choice, you can have a friend online. Kunyari, classmate mo dito. You can ask for a help. Again, guys, ito ang isa pang gusto kong mangyari. You can have pairings dito. Pag wala kayong kasama sa bahay, and that's possible right now during the pandemic, pwede kayong mag-partner. Si Joey and then si Karen. Siyempre, same grade kayo. Yun yung both an advantage and disadvantage. Pero if you have people at home that can help you, then yeah, use them. Okay? So, ito yung gusto ko sana tanungin kung gusto nyo paired o gusto nyo individual. Yan. So, yeah, if ever paired grouping, yan, you can do video calls with your friend or with your classmate or even with your friend na hindi taga-NU. Mag-video call kayo. Record it. Diba? You can record naman your conversation. You can try Zoom. You can save your recording or your conference call dun sa Zoom eh. With MS Teams din pwede rin naman. Pero, syempre, if MS Teams, mag-paired na lang kayo kasi kung taga-NU lang din, diba? So, yeah, last resort for Joey, if ever wala siyang kapares, walang gustong mag-pair kay Joey, si Joey, gagawin niya ang pinakamahirap na part, magdodoble cara siya. Magagawa si Joey ng scene as this character and another scene as this character. Pag-uusapan mo yung dalawang version mo. That's the most difficult part. So, yeah. Best work around here is to ask a friend or a classmate. Okay? So, thank you, Joey, for that question. Hopefully, medyo clear. Tell me if malabo. Wala kang kaibigan, wala kang kakilala dito.
Okay lang po, sir. Meron naman po.
Meron ka makukuha ditong kapartner?
Opo, kapitbahay ko lang naman po si Velasco.
Okay. That's great. Okay, so, yun. Wait lang, let me go back with my headphone. Okay, so, yeah, I should have asked you guys kung gusto nyo individual or group, pero with this case, I guess, either way na lang. Syempre, mahirap pag nagdoble cara ka, di ba? Kasi you're doing twice the effort. So, yeah, ask a friend. Yun nga lang, syempre, yung friend mo hindi graded. Pero, kunyari, si Patricia and then si Marcus, nag-pair, syempre, they'll have it easier for them. And syempre, automatic grade na. It will be easier for me rin to grade kasi magka-partner sila, di ba? Parang ganun. Pero, syempre, if you will have pairing, mas mahaba yung file name nyo. It should be Cardona, Patricia May, Pelaez, Marcus Genesis, with dialogue, PT1. Diba? And then the second file should be the same. PT2, without dialogue, PT1. Okay? So, yeah. Next, may nag-raise pa ng hand after ni Joey. Any other questions, guys? So, sige, para matapos na tayo, para at least hindi tayo makaka-isang oras na rin tayo malapit na. Pero, at least, yung mga gusto magsimula, pwede na magsimula. And, yeah. Hi, Bidel. Good afternoon.
Sir, good afternoon. Sorry sa
Yes.
ano po, tawag dito. Kunwari kami ni Nathan, sir. One file na lang po.
Two files, di ba? Yung isa with
Ay, yes,
dialogue,
sir.
and yes, oo. Tapos hahabaan nyo lang yung file name nyo.
Okay po. Pero one na lang po yung magsasubmit sa amin. Kunwari po, NUIS ko yung gagamitin. Ganun po.
Yes, oo.
Okay po. Thank you po.
Basta ang mahirap lang guys, if paired kayo, tapos hindi nasama yung pangalan nyo. Kasi I would consider that as tinulungan lang kayo ng classmate nyo, pero you're not really paired. You're just individual na inassist ka lang. So, if you have two names on your file name, I would consider it as a paired group. Okay? So, kunyari si Aaron and Marcus, tinulungan, nag-pairing sila, pero nakalimutan ni Aaron isama yung pangalan ni Marcus sa file name. I would just assume tinulungan lang ni Marcus si Aaron sa video when I saw him. Pero dahil ang file name is si Aaron lang yung may grade. So, be careful lang sa ganon. Okay? So, I would want this opportunity rin sana to have you guys pair up para sa collaboration and participation, di ba? So, at least you get to interact not just with me, but with your classmate then. And this activity should be fun, di ba? So, you're chatting with your friend or classmate, and at the same time, you will be graded afterwards, di ba? That would be, kahit paano, that's hitting two birds with one stone. Okay, so thank you, Patricia, for that question. Meron pa ba ito tanong? Tanong na kayo. Okay lang. Kahit yung pinaka-simple or sa tingin nyo pinaka-ridiculous na question, you can feel free to ask pa rin. Kasi by 12:15, I would be dismissing this class. Actually, isang oras na pala. So, any takers, guys? Baka may last na hahabol ng tanong? If not, yes, Aaron. Sorry.
Sir, pwede ba yung parang may cuts po?
Yes, okay lang may cuts. Oo. May
Ayos na.
edits. Oo, okay lang yun.
Apa. Sige, sir. Thank you po.
So, other than that, thank you, Aaron. Also, pwede kayo magtagalog. Basta wag lang ibang dialect, guys. Kasi I only know English and Tagalog. Baka mamaya may magtsabakano. Pwede kayo mag-accent if you want, di ba? You can role-play eh. It's a role-playing activity. So, si Patricia, if she can do a British accent, then that's a lot better. Okay, so I guess that's it, guys. Hopefully na clear kasi I'll be discussing naman cinematic devices by Thursday. Syempre I'll try to insert syempre a few more questions for PT1 pa rin before you submit it over the weekend. Pero yun, kesa naman sa last minute kayo magtatanong, malapit na deadline, di ba? So that's why I'm asking you guys now kung meron kayo maiisip na tanong. But if not, it's already 1:03. I mean, 1 hour and 3 minutes. So it's more than the time that I wanted this to happen. So yeah. Guys, thank you for joining me this afternoon. I hope to see you all on our synchronous meeting on Thursday. Walang nag-visit nung week 8.1 natin, walang dumalaw man lang. De joke lang. Pero basahin niyo yun, guys, ha. It would really help sa topic natin. Okay? Or at least having an idea about our topic, which is storytelling. Okay, guys, thank you, and I'll see you all on Thursday. Bye, everyone, and have a great afternoon.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Miss Patricia. Thank you, Aaron. Rian, for being a good sport. Joey, salamat din. Ray, thank you rin for being a good sport. Lahat na in-example ko lahat ng present. No? Salamat, and bye, guys.